I'm going to talk today a little bit about cycling injuries, specifically those associated with car collisions. We recently tried a case in Miami-Dade County where a cyclist was injured pretty severely from a collision with a vehicle. And there was some dispute about who was at fault for that, whether it was the cyclist who was not obeying all of the cycling rules of the road, or was it the motorist who actually veered off into the cycling lane and struck the cyclist, our client. The interesting part, and the part that I want to focus on in this video, is during jury selection, the overall animosity that the jury pool had as a whole against cyclists. And the reason that that I feel like the ultimate verdict was not as favorable as we had hoped for the client was this animosity that the general public has, at least in Miami-Dade County, and I think to some degree in every county in Florida, that cyclists think they own the road, so to speak. And there's a lot of angst, if you will, that we detected from the jurors. The questions that we asked were like, do you have any biases or experiences with cyclists or groups of cyclists? And we noticed that many of the jurors had issues with groups of cyclists that they contend basically take over the roadways. I'm telling you this as a cyclist, somebody that cares about cyclists, that at the end of the day, if something were to happen to you, jurors are not as sympathetic as they used to be for cyclists. So it's very important that we follow all the rules of the road, make sure that it's clear if something does happen to you, heaven forbid, that you get documented proof that it wasn't your fault, that it was the other vehicle's fault or the vehicle's fault. Because if there is going to be some dispute about who's at fault, there is some bias out there that we detected as recently as last month against cyclists. Even when you have a lot more substantial vehicle, right, involved, like a car or a truck, it used to be that cyclists got some benefit of the doubt because they were more like pedestrians. Well, that helpful kind of thinking has subsided, and what's replaced it is a bias against cyclists in large part. So keep that in mind if you're ever involved or near a cyclist who is involved in an accident. Make sure it's documented who's at fault, because you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt from the jury these days. If you have questions about a cycling accident, you can find us on the web at zarzaurlaw.com, or you can call us at 855-HIRE-JOE. Thank you.